Some time ago, you became a member of the Hamilton family. At that time, we were all sure of a long, happy, prosperous association working together. This picture is to refresh that feeling of confidence in our futures. At the time of your employment, you learned many things about the company. You were given a report on how the Hamilton reputation was gained and maintained over the years. This was to let you know you were joining a company highly respected throughout the land. You perhaps remember that you did not just get a job. You were selected because the company felt you had the necessary requirements and aptitude to do the work. You passed your preliminary tests in good shape, and you were on your way to a career that has meant steady work, good pay, and security for the future for hundreds of men and women. You met many of the people who work at Hamilton, many who have been with the company 10, 20, 30, or more years. We told you that you would find these people friendly and understanding, always ready to lend a helpful hand. You found that this was so. During your training and later on the job, you got the feeling of spirit and comradeship among the people who work here and why they feel proud of the work they do. There must be something to it when people feel like that. Yes, there is something to it, all right. And that something is made up of many things. Big things, little things. For example, by now you have found that your work is safe. So safe that the company enjoys one of the highest safety records in the land. You work in clean, pleasant surroundings, too, with paid holidays and vacations with pay. You get bonuses for working certain shifts. For your convenience, the large cafeteria serves hot, tasty meals, and there is a dispensary to care for your health needs. There is a library for study and reference and a factory newspaper. The Recreation Association sponsors many interesting and gay activities, all for you as a member of the Hamilton family. We told you that as a member of the Hamilton family, you would be given a free life insurance policy by the company after 6 months' employment. The company makes available a liberal retirement plan and hospital and surgical insurance, sickness and accident benefits. And additional life insurance is available to you through a group plan. All these things are real, all maintained by the company for your happiness, contentment, and security. In the beginning, when you started to work here, you probably wondered how you were going to fit into things, but you were enthusiastic, eager to learn the job. We told you that a new world would be open to you, a world where you have found that nearly everyone works with precision tools and with watch parts that are both intriguing and fascinating. But it hasn't always been perfect. Learning any new job isn't easy. At some stage in their learning, there have come to the minds of some workers certain doubts. Doubt that they could ever master the job, develop the same skill and speed of those around them, earn the money they want to earn. Many were bombarded by fear and let their minds fill with worry. But the amazing thing is that that is a normal condition, and your company realizes it. Nearly every one of the skilled men and women who do so many delicate, minute operations with precision tools felt exactly the same way when they started on the job. But through time and practice and experience, backed by confidence in their own abilities, these employees, as a result of staying on the job, developed a sure sense of touch, perfected the correct habits which make them accurate and fast in their work. It doesn't make any difference what the reason is for this doubt. Your company knows from experience that it can be overcome by anyone who has the interest, patience, and determination to stay at it. There's really nothing mysterious about it, so let's look at some plain facts about learning to do a job. Facts assembled over years of observation on every type of job. For example, in this operation of pallet stone setting, records show that it takes 5 months to learn how to do it correctly, and it may be a few months longer before higher skill is developed. In studying, the average time to learn the operation is 8 months. At the end of a few months more, Skill has become second nature and earnings are on the upgrade. Collet making takes 6 months to learn, but after a few months longer, top skill comes to you, and that means more money in your pocket. And that's the way it goes throughout the plant, regardless of the job you do. By patience and practice, you can become a master and go on to earn more and more as time goes by. That's all there is to it. As your skill and accuracy develop, you gain more speed, and more speed means dollars to you. And now let's see some actual proof of what we are saying. Have you ever watched a proficient typist and wondered at the speed and accuracy of the hands as they fly over the keyboard? Speed and accuracy were there in the beginning, but they had to be developed. After learning the basic lessons, how to do the job, it was time that developed the correct habits and touch, which result in the speed and accuracy of the expert. Watch a top-notch golfer smash the ball to the fairway with unerring accuracy time after time. Only practice made this shot possible. Only practice makes skill possible. And it is time spent in developing the correct swing, the correct touch, the correct habits which place that golfer among the experts. And here at Hamilton, it is time, practice, experience that enable you to master any operation in the making of a watch. Let's see the difference time, practice, and experience make. Let's look at the difference in habits and motions between the way a beginner and an experienced craftsman work on the same job. Here is a beginner attempting to locate small pallet stones in the slots of a pallet. It is easy to see that her training period has not been completed. Her lack of skill in picking up the small parts and inserting the stones in the slots clearly show that. Further time on the job will develop skill and eliminate the false motions which slow her down. Here is the same operation performed by an experienced operator, one who has devoted the required time to learn the method and acquire skill on the job. Each movement and motion now is used to full advantage, and the stones and pallet are assembled with ease. You may still be thinking that sticking to a job for the duration of the learning period doesn't pay. Yes, you even may still think that the learner and the experienced operator's time to complete this same operation was the same. But when you look at both operations, you can see that spending enough time to learn the job correctly counts. During the same time it takes the inexperienced operator on the left to complete one operation, the experienced operator on the right completes 4. Yes, it certainly pays you to become experienced, and that means spending time and effort to develop the skills required for the job. Now, let's take a look at another job. You can judge from the visual record the earnings potential of an inexperienced and experienced operator. Here is an inexperienced operator performing a studding operation. This consists of locating the end of a hairspring in the hole of a small stud and securing it by means of a tapered pin, which is then cut off on each end flush with the stud. You may think the operator is performing the operation very skillfully, but observe the time, 70 seconds. Compare this with the work of an experienced operator, one who has devoted the necessary time to learn the job thoroughly, performing the same operation. The stopwatch shows the experienced operator takes only 45 seconds to complete the operation. The difference in time, 25 seconds, clearly indicates it is to your advantage to devote time and attention until your top skill has been developed. Here, by means of high-speed photography, the motions of the two operators have been slowed down. The uncertainty with which the inexperienced operator performs each motion is clearly shown. She still lacks the confidence, sureness, and judgment that only further training time on the job will develop. Perhaps you are thinking, where in the world did the experienced person gain so much overall time over the inexperienced? It's the seconds, yes, and even fractions of seconds saved in each movement of the hands and tools that accumulate to build up a large overall time savings. The slow motion photography of an experienced operator shows that in every movement the operator has confidence and skill. There is no fumbling or indecision. Every motion is made to count to the greatest advantage. Again, it's the correct motions which make possible the faster speed. Now let's look at a machine job. Here is an inexperienced operator making a small watch part called a collet. As she turns, drills, and cuts, her hand motions are not rhythmic. She has not yet acquired the dexterity and coordination that longer training time on the job will develop. Compare this with the experienced operator working with perfect ease of hand and finger dexterity. The reward for the time devoted to this job is higher average hourly earnings and a sense of pride that comes with skill. Experience does count. It leads to ease and skill for doing a job. You may now be like this inexperienced operator who still lacks the coordination and motions that time on the job will develop. And it is the same with all jobs, whether it's hand or machine work. Sufficient practice and work over a period of time must elapse before skill is acquired. So, if you have been bothered by doubts, give yourself a little more time. Have confidence in yourself and in your ability to learn the job well. Everyone gets a lot of personal satisfaction out of doing a job well. That's because the accomplishment is the result of personal effort. Every job is tough at first, but the tougher the job, the more satisfaction is gained by doing it. And what is important to you, too, is that your earning capacity goes up. So remember, if the loop bothers you, if the tools seem unfamiliar to your hand, if the tiny parts you work with seem to evade you with persistent regularity, take confidence in yourself and think. Hundreds of other people have felt the same way. And yet these same people went on to enjoy pleasant, well-paying jobs with security and contentment. You have one of these jobs now at Hamilton, where your tomorrow is in the making today.